side, a little bit of drag racing going on that way.
Yeah, there was a little bit of everything. So we did side by side up the hill, and then when you get the guy next to you, it adds a different aspect because now you're watching him and yourself, and if you're dead even, you want to push a little harder to get that edge, and then you'll overshoot something or mess up, which I did a little stunt for anybody that's seen it or hasn't seen it. I did a little end over.
I think I saw the judges up there with 10s across the board there, little freestyle action. Rock bouncing freestyle. We're going to have to start something new there.
We will. It's I might opt out of it. It's expensive and it hurts. But it's really awesome though to see like our car, 4400 car. They're unlimited,
Yep.
and so with that, the car's built really well. We got some of the best safety devices, seats, and all that stuff in the car, which is able to survive the impact and then show up and race today. So really, really happy with all that stuff. They build an awesome car. Joe Thompson, UFO, built really strong, obviously. So it's really neat. So we went back, prepped the car. We actually just fixed a bunch of cosmetics. We broke the antenna off the top of it, just little things. And prepped the car.
Still had the satellite radio working, right? The FM wasn't there.
We did. It was Bluetooth. We were good.
Bluetooth, there you go.
So,
well, let's talk a little bit about the race today.
Okay.
A little bit of the rain. The skies opened up a little bit. And this definitely was one of the more technical. I know with King of the Hammers, Open, Legends of the Falls, you experienced it, but a lot of water running through there. But this, narrow trees running through there, and people were watching the drone footage, just had been blown away.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. And even as a driver, you're running, and the number one rule when you run through trees is don't look at the trees. Because if you look at the trees, you're going to hit it.
Like a magnet.
Yeah, it'll just draw you into it. So you're trying to look way out in front of you. And then with the rain, added a new aspect because now you're running through mud. And so you're constantly getting the spray on your visor. And so you're trying to wipe it off as you're going through trees at 40, 50 mile an hour. And you got to keep the cars revved up so the steering pumps work. They're not like a normal SUV. They got to have a lot of RPM in the motor to keep the steering pump running.
Keep the pressure up.
Yeah, so you're always downshifting, upshifting because you don't want to hit the rev limiter either and hurt the motor. So you're really got to shift a lot in the trees to keep the car in the sweet spot.
And let's talk a little bit about that. What are the RPM ranges and what kind of horsepower with these motors so you got to play with?
So our car is probably one of the, I'd say, mid-range cars. It's not the top end, but it's about 800 horse at the crank. And then the RPM range, we hit the rev limiter around 7,000 RPMs. The converters, I got two different converters I run, 3 and 35. 35 for short course, 3 for woods course like this. So we had the 3,000 stall in the car, and you're running. So you're trying to keep it in between about 3 and 6, I would say.
And that's your optimum horsepower range and where the
car,
performance.
It does really good. So with 800 horse, there's spots you can overpower the track. So you keep it down a little bit, 4,000, 5,000 RPMs. But then there's a spot you get out in them open fields, run her on up, 6,800, shift next gear.
And one of the things, too, you were talking about, everything seemed like it was going pretty well. And then you talked about all of a sudden you went to go, there's something wrong here, and, it was not sure what it was, but it was coming from the car.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know at home, once we start running real hard, you can actually wear on the wheel bearings of the car, which causes your brakes to fade a little bit. And so initially I thought that's what was going on with the car. Maybe it's fading a little bit. Maybe I did something to a wheel bearing. And as I ran, the brakes kept getting worse and worse. And the pedal kept going away. And then I got to where I couldn't pump it back up. So I couldn't pump it and get any brakes. And so then I knew that something was really wrong with the car. And running through the tight trees, we ripped the antenna off the top of the car. And so